Hey everyone, and welcome back to Forbidden Unveiled.
Glad to be back.
It's John Doe here.
And Jane Doe.
And we are ready for another look at some news.
Yes, we are.
From the Vatican.
Well, Vatican seems to always be in the news.
Yeah, every time you turn around, it's another headline.
Yeah, it's like a
But the Vatican.
So...
Exorcisms or Nazis or hidden archives?
So let's jump right into it.
Sure.
We've got an article here about Father Gabriel Amorth, who was the Vatican's chief exorcist for decades.
Wow.
He claimed to have performed over 100,000 exorcisms.
Oh my gosh.
In his lifetime.
Unbelievable.
That's a crazy number.
It really is. You know, it makes you wonder what he went through during all those exorcisms. Like, what did he see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What kind of beliefs about good and evil did he have?
Yeah.
And, you know, what does that tell us about what the church believes about the devil today?
That's a great point. I mean, exorcism is something that most people associate with movies.
Yeah, exactly. But
like horror movies.
Yeah, but it's still an active thing in the church.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And speaking of things that sound like a movie, we have some research here about the Vatican's alleged involvement with helping Nazis escape after World War II.
Yeah, this is a pretty heavy accusation.
It is.
The researcher Gerald Steinacher found some travel documents suggesting that the Vatican was involved in getting some Nazis safe passage to South America.
Yeah, you know, and to no surprise, the Vatican has refused to comment on these findings. It really raises questions about, you know.
Yeah, how much they cooperated.
Exactly.
And this isn't the only controversy surrounding the Vatican in the post-war period. We have another piece here that talks about the Vatican Bank. And its alleged dealings with Hitler himself.
Ooh, so the Vatican Bank is notoriously secretive?
Yeah.
And there have been rumors for a long time about their connections to some shady figures, and there are even claims that the bank profited from the Holocaust indirectly through investments in Italian insurance companies that held policies on the lives of Jewish families who were murdered.
Wow, that's pretty disturbing.
Really is.
This journalist, Gerald Posner, has done a lot of work looking into this claim.
Makes sense.
And, you know, it makes you wonder just how much we don't know.
Yeah.
About the Vatican's finances during that time.
A lot, I bet.
But speaking of secrets and scandals.
Oh, yes.
We can't forget about VatiLeaks.
Oh, that's right.
From a few years ago.
Yeah, that was wild.
Oh, how could I forget?
I know.
It was like right out of a spy movie.
Yeah.
Pope Benedict's own butler leaking confidential documents revealing blackmail.
Oh, my goodness.
Corruption and all sorts of juicy details.
And that contributed to Pope Benedict's resignation, which is really unheard of in modern times.
Yeah, and it really shook things up in the church.
It really did.
You know what else I thought was interesting in this stack of news?
Okay, what's that?
This article about the Apostolic Penitentiary.
Oh, yes, the Apostolic Penitentiary.
The what?
It's this secret tribunal in the Vatican dealing with what they call heinous crimes against the church. And get this.
Yeah.
It wasn't even publicly acknowledged until 2009.
It sounds like something out of the Da Vinci Code.
It really does.
Like, what kind of crimes are we talking about? Like,
we're talking about
spilled communion wine.
No. We're talking way more serious than that.
Okay.
Like attempting to assassinate the Pope or a priest revealing what was said in confession.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Things that are considered extremely grave within the church's own legal system.
That's intense.
It is.
I had no idea.
Right.
That something like that even existed.
That's the thing about the Vatican.
Yeah.
There are so many layers of history and tradition, and who knows what's hidden beneath the surface.
Wow.
And speaking of hidden, we have another historical tidbit that's pretty wild.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Cadaver Synod?
The what?
The Cadaver Synod.
Okay.
Back in 897 AD, Pope Formosus was actually put on trial after he died.
Wait, they put a dead man on trial?
They did?
How does that even work?
His successor, Pope Stephen VI, had a grudge against Formosus and decided to put his corpse on trial for all these alleged crimes.
Wow.
So they exhumed the body. They dressed him in papal robes.
Oh, my goodness.
And propped him up in court.
Wow.
While somebody else spoke for him.
Talk about holding a grudge.
Right.
Okay, so what was the verdict?
Guilty, of course.
Of course.
They said that his acts as pope were null and void. They took his robes back and then tossed his body in the Tiber River.
Wow. I know. That's a seriously dark chapter.
Yeah.
in Vatican history.
It really is.
Who knew a place known for its holiness could have such a brutal past?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
This mix of like piety and power, and secrecy and spectacle.
It makes for some good stories.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered some pretty wild historical events.
Yes, we have.
But now let's venture into some pure speculation.
Okay.
What kind of conspiracy theories?
Ooh, conspiracy theories.
Have we got...
Okay, so...
We have some really crazy ones.
Okay.
Let's start with a theory that's sure to raise some eyebrows.
Okay.
Some people think that hidden in the Vatican secret archives is proof that Jesus Christ never actually existed.
Really? What kind of proof could they even have?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big claim.
It is bold.
Yeah.
But the theory is all about supposed communication between the Roman Emperor Nero and St. Paul that's hidden within the archives.
Oh, okay.
And it supposedly reveals the truth about Jesus. Okay, sounds a little far-fetched.
It does.
But I guess you never know.
Right.
What else have we got?
Okay, get ready for this one.
Okay.
Some people believe that the Vatican is hiding evidence of alien life.
Okay.
Alien skulls.
Alien skulls.
Collaborations between the Pope and aliens.
In the Vatican.
Yes.
That's a headline I would love to see.
I know, right?
Pope confirms existence of alien life.
Exactly.
Now that would be a game changer.
Yes, it would. Okay. Moving on to a slightly more grounded, but still highly debated theory, the third secret of Fatima.
Ah, Fatima.
Yes.
I remember learning about this in school.
Okay.
3 young shepherd children in Portugal having visions of the Virgin Mary.
That's right.
And prophecies about the future.
Exactly. So 2 of the secrets were revealed pretty early on, but that third one was kept secret for decades. Yeah. Which, of course, fueled all kinds of speculation about what it said.
Yeah, like what was it?
People thought that it predicted like a nuclear holocaust or some other crazy global catastrophe.
And then the Vatican finally released the third secret in 2000.
They did.
But a lot of people weren't convinced.
Right. They think that the real secret is still hidden away.
So it just makes the mystery even bigger.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, ready for a theory that's a little more unexpected.
Okay, let's hear it.
Some people claim that the Vatican secret archives houses the world's largest...
Well, they do say that the Illuminati are always after power.
Right.
And what's more powerful than being able to influence the head of the Catholic Church?
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, we have the most outlandish theory of all.
Okay, what is it?
A time machine hidden in the Vatican secret archives.
You're kidding, right?
I'm serious.
It's a time machine. Come on.
There are rumors about this thing called the Chronovisor.
What is that?
It was supposedly built by an Italian priest and scientist named Father Pellegrino Ernetti.
Okay.
And legend has it that this device allowed people to see past and future events.
Hold on, this is starting to sound like Doctor Who.
It does, doesn't it?
A little bit.
But some people believe this Chronovisor is real.
Okay.
And hidden somewhere in those mysterious archives.
Okay, so we've got aliens, time travel.
We've got it all.
I mean, this is wild.
Yeah.
But what's the reality of the Vatican's secret archives?
Right.
I mean, are they really as secretive as everyone thinks?
Well, that's a good question. You know, the name itself, Vatican Secret Archives, is actually kind of a mistranslation.
What do you mean?
The word secret comes from the Latin word secretum, which actually means private.
So it's more like the Vatican private archives?
Yes.
That doesn't sound nearly as exciting.
Right. I know, right?
Yeah.
But really, the archives mostly contain official paperwork correspondence and historical documents going all the way back to the 8th century. So yeah, it's like a treasure trove of history, but not necessarily the repository of crazy secrets and conspiracy.
Okay, so no alien autopsies?
Probably not.
Or blueprints for time travel?
No, but they do have some really incredible documents in there.
Like what?
For example, they have a desperate letter from Mary, Queen of Scots to Pope Sixtus V, begging for his help before she was executed.
Wow, imagine holding a piece of history like that in your hand.
I know, it'd be amazing. And they have the document that outlines Martin Luther's excommunication from the Catholic Church, which was like a huge moment in religious history.
Yeah.
And they even have the Chinon parchment.
What's that?
It's got the minutes from the trials against the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar?
Yeah.
Another group shrouded in mystery and legend?
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It is, and it's amazing to think that these documents have survived for so long.
Yeah, for all these centuries, it's crazy.
And you know, the Vatican has actually become a little more open
Oh, really?
about their archives in recent years.
Okay.
They've given journalists tours. They've put on public exhibitions.
Okay.
And they're even thinking about opening up archives related to Pope Pius XII.
So maybe some of those conspiracy theories aren't totally accurate.
Well, let's just say that the reality of the archives is probably a lot less exciting than some people imagine.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that they aren't still incredibly important and fascinating.
Yeah, of course, it's still a huge collection of historical documents.
Right.
And who knows what other things might be in there waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. And it's important to remember the challenges of managing such a massive archive.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge job, and there's always the chance for controversy surrounding certain documents.
Yeah, like what kind of documents?
Particularly those about the church's sexual abuse scandal.
Yeah, those documents could tell us a lot about what happened.
Exactly.
And releasing them would be a big step towards transparency and accountability for the church.
So while the Vatican's secret archives might not be full of crazy secrets and hidden technologies, like some people think, they are still a very important and interesting part of history.
Yeah.
With the potential to reveal so much about the Catholic Church and what it's done in the world.
Well said, and I think that's what makes all these stories about the Vatican so interesting.
Yes.
They make us question what we believe.
For sure.
And keep us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah. What do you think?
You know, it's funny. After all that talk about alien skulls and time machines,
Isn't that right?
I'm almost a little disappointed that the Vatican secret archives are probably just full of old paperwork.
Well, there is something really exciting about those conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
They really make you think about everything you thought you knew.
Yeah, absolutely. But even without the crazy stuff, the Vatican is still a fascinating place.
Oh, yeah.
It's this mix of history and faith and power and secrecy.
Yeah.
And that's always going to make people curious.
Absolutely. You said it perfectly.
Right.
I think that's why we love all these stories about the Vatican so much. They challenge our assumptions and make us really think about the world.
Yeah, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
It is.
Every time you think you've got it figured out, there's another layer of complexity underneath.
Yeah, and something that really stood out to me today was this contrast between the Vatican's image of holiness and its alleged involvement in some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, that's a hard contrast to ignore.
It really is.
You know, you have these beautiful churches and amazing art.
Yes.
A message of peace and love.
Right.
And then you have these stories about financial scandals, Nazi collaboration, and abuse of power.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how much we really know about the Vatican.
Yeah, and the people.
And the people who run it.
What
secrets are they keeping?
Yeah, what happened behind closed doors?
Right.
Throughout history.
Those are great questions. And I think what we can learn from all this is that the Vatican is really complicated. It's got a long and kind of contradictory history. And people will always be fascinated by it.
Well said.
Thank you.
It's a good reminder that things aren't always black and white.
Right.
Especially when you're talking about something as old and as powerful as the Vatican.
For sure.
There's always more to the story.
Always.
Than you see at first glance.
That's what makes exploring these topics so interesting.
Yeah.
There's always something new to learn. A different perspective.
Yeah.
Another mystery.
Well, I think we've given our listeners...
I think so.
...plenty to think about today.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Just remember to be critical of these stories.
Yeah.
Don't take everything you hear as fact.
Right. Do your own research. Ask questions. And decide for yourself what you believe.
Great advice. And who knows, maybe one day some of those crazy conspiracy theories will actually turn out to be true.
Stranger things have happened.
That's right. But for now, we've got to stick with the facts as we know them.
Okay.
And speaking of sticking around, be sure to follow or subscribe to Forbidden Unveiled.
That's right.
So you don't miss out on our next exploration of the world's most interesting mysteries.
We'll see you next time.
We've got plenty more stories.
Absolutely.
Where those came from.
And if you have any thoughts about the Vatican, we want to hear them.
Yes.
Share them with us.
Leave a comment.
In the comments.
Yeah.
Or on social media.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you later.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.